Well, hello there, everyone. Hopefully this finds you doing well. It is February the 8th in the year 2022. So first of all, thank you to all new subscribers. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to take that first step to learning how you can improve your financial future. So please subscribe. Feel free to like, comment, and feel free to share any video you think is worthwhile sharing. Okay, I was thinking a little bit on that one video I made yesterday talking about how you can make an extra $1,000, $2,500, etc., etc. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I want to share a goal at the end of this, as long as I don't forget to talk about it, but that I got. It's a new goal for me, and before you get there, make sure you tune into the end, because I don't want to come across like I'm bragging or nothing like that. I'm going to share my goal because I want to show you that it's something that if you want to do the same thing, you can, okay? I'm not here to brag to you. I'm not here to talk about how I've done such and such just to talk about it. I'm here to try to help you to get going on the path to financial independence. I want to help you to learn how to get your first rental house. But remember, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a CPA. I am not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not nothing like that. I'm just Mazske. I share stories about what I have done in hopes that you can learn from some of my stories, okay? And perhaps do the same thing or perhaps not. It is your choice, okay? So anyway, in regards to that video yesterday, I have a feeling some of you may watch it and be like, thinking, Mazske, you make it sound like it's so easy. I cannot get a rental house. It's too difficult. But it's really not, okay? It is, but it isn't. All right, now to get your first rental property, if you have never had a rental house and you're working a job, okay, you have to look at yourself. Look inward at yourself, okay? Prior to getting that first house, look at yourself. What is your credit score? You can look on Credit Karma. You can look on various bank sites, whatever bank you bank with. I'm not endorsing any of these sites, but you can look, it's all over the internet. You can find out what your estimated credit score is, okay? Do that. If it's low, do what you can to raise it. There's all kinds of sites there that will tell you how you can increase your credit score. One of them is you pay down debt. And if you don't have debt, like I had a credit score in the 600s maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I was like, why is it not 800? I paid off my personal house. I had no debt at all. And that was the problem. So I applied for a credit card. I got it. My credit score went up. I applied for another credit card. Got it. My credit score went up. I put a little balance on my credit card. I paid it off. My credit score went up. Now my credit scores, I have like 20 mortgages and a dozen credit cards. I keep my mortgages paid every single month, and I pay my credit card bill off almost pretty much weekly. And my credit score hovers right around 800, and the highest credit score is in the low 800s. Okay. So it's easy for me to say if I can do it, you can do it. But it all comes down to you. All right. So look at your personal finances. All right. My channel is not designed necessarily to help you improve your personal finances prior to investing. But I can talk a little bit on it, because to get that first rental house, what is on me? I was outside trimming some palm trees, so that's what's on me. But to get your first rental house, you do need to provide a down payment. Normally, there are ways to get around it occasionally, but for the 98% of the people who buy their first rental property, need to provide a down payment. That down payment traditionally comes from one way: your savings. How much can you save up? All right, and some of you out there are going to say, Mazske, I live paycheck to paycheck. I don't make enough. I can't save anything. All right, that's, again, where if that's the case, you got to look inside. Look inward at yourself. All right, if you're not making enough, why? Should you get another job? Do you need to improve your skills? Whatever line of work you're in, can you improve your skills to get paid more? Or do you make an okay salary and you need to learn how to pull the belt a little tighter to save a little bit of money? I did a combination of both those things, kind of. When I was a brand new cop in 1998, I had a little bit of stocks already, but I had a mortgage I had to pay, and I had a 457 plan I wanted to put money into, and I started off in 1998 making $23,000 a year. All right, so that was not a lot. I had 2 children. I had a 105-pound German Shepherd, a cat, 2 parakeets. I just had a baby, so my wife stayed at home with the baby and everything. and my mortgage was one paycheck out of two. All right, so times were tight. So I learned how to be frugal. I learned how to inflate my car tires to the proper air pressure so to improve gas mileage, to cut down on fuel expenses. I learned how to heat or cool my home in a cheaper way. I learned how to insulate to save money on heating and cooling costs. I learned how to use coupons. I learned how to save a little bit. Okay, I'm not telling you that's what you need to do, but at the same time, maybe you do. At the same time, I would work overtime. My overtime was time and a half. So if I wasn't making enough money, I worked rotating shift work, 12-hour shifts, daytime, nighttime, bouncing back and forth. But I would sign up to work overtime shifts in between my daytime, nighttime. And at times I was confused. I was like, what day is it? Where am I? But I had to do what I had to do to survive, okay? To increase my income, okay? So look, nowadays it's easier than ever. There are a lot of side gigs, side hustles. You could drive for Uber, you could drive for DoorDash. When I first came to Florida, I drove for DoorDash. All right, you make a little money that way. You can work part-time in stores, shopping centers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can find a part-time gig somewhere just to make extra money. Because if you want to get on that property ladder and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're telling yourself you can't do it, then by golly, you got to make some drastic changes because you can do it. You can do it. All right. So what you got to do is, like I said, increase income, cut expenses. And just to get started, sometimes in life, people will say, I can't cut expenses. I can't do that. I need this shiny object. I need this car. I need to impress this girl or impress this guy. I got to go out to my buddies on the weekend. I got to take a trip, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what if I told you that I think in my little tiny mind up here that the majority of Americans who work jobs, if they so desire, can be financially independent in 10 years or so. 10 years. All right. If you're 25 years old and you just like to have fun, how would you like to be financially independent by the time you're 35? And not just financially independent where you're barely scraping by, living in like a little one-room studio house that you bought for $25,000 because you live in bare bones. Wouldn't you like to be financially independent with a better income than you have now and with the potential that that income will keep growing? Okay? All right? So I know this video I did not give a lot of details of exactly how to do things because it comes down to each individual. All right? So, but I will try to stress you got to get yourself on that property ladder. Because I've said many, many, many times, it's a journey. You take one step at a time. You take that first step to get that first rental property, and then you continue on. It's slow. It can take several years. All right? But it speeds up over time, and it is possible for the majority of Americans who are working jobs to become financially independent within 10 years from buying real estate. All right, so don't get frustrated. Don't think you can't do it. You just got to get started, okay? All right, remember I told you I was going to tell you a goal. All right, one of my goals I referenced in a video maybe yesterday or the day before about a successful real estate investor, and I'll be on his channel tomorrow. He recorded me Sunday. I'll be on his channel tomorrow, and it's Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. One rental at a time. One at a time. Okay. He is making now over 6 figures from his rental portfolio. Think about that. 6 figures. That's in a year's time. That's $1.2 million and higher. I don't know exactly what he's making, but it's online. You can find it online that he's making over $100,000 a year. $100,000 a month. Okay. All from real estate. All right. I have talked about how when you buy rental property, you try to get $250 a month positive cash flow after all expenses, after paying your mortgage, your taxes, insurance, your vacancy, your repairs, your capital expenditures. You shoot for $250 a month positive cash flow. But what will happen over time, you get rent increases and that positive cash flow may go to $275, may go to $325, may go to $400, whatever. It'll go up. Okay. So I started, when I heard about what Michael Zuber was making, I wrote down everything. I figured up exactly what am I making a month, because I didn't know. Exactly. I get checks coming in and expenses going out. I'm paying bills. I'm paying contractors. I'm paying mortgages. It's like it's constantly, every week, there's something going in and out, in and out. I didn't know. So I started tracking it. All right. So I figured out exactly where I'm at right now, more or less, because it's in flux. It's constantly changing. All right. So then after hearing Michael Zuber's income, I came up with a goal for myself that is a challenge. All right. It can be hard to do. All right, but that's what I do. I set goals high and I try to get there. And if I fall short, that's okay. That's okay. But if I put my goal down here and I make it and I stop, well, by golly, I didn't try to get up to here. So my goal is to set a goal up here and hopefully I'll make it. Or if I don't, I'll fall, maybe I fall a little short and I'm still okay. So my goal, you ready? Drum roll. I need drums. I don't have drums in here. All right. So my goal is to have a monthly income. Not 100% from real estate. I have a pension. That's not a whole lot of money, but I have a pension. And I have other investments in oil and in mineral rights acreage. So all of my investment income combined with my pension, I want it to be at a level of, in 1 month, $25,000. All right, so $25,000 a month for all 12 months. That would be an annual income of $300,000. All right, Mazske, well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Because trust me, I'm not making that much money right now. And here's the other kicker of my goal. I want to complete this goal in approximately 18 months. All right, 18 months. And to tell you where I'm at now, I'll just give you a ballpark figure. It's plus or minus right here, okay? Roughly right now, I'm somewhere around $10,000 a month. All right, it's in flux. It gets reduced a lot of times because I'm not getting all my rent in. I do pay a $3,000 a month mortgage, so I got that. And I'm paying to get a tiki hut and a dock, and I want to renovate my pool, etc. Okay, but I'm still investing. I'm working. I've been in contact with real estate agents today. I've been in contact with inspectors today. I've been looking at other investments, etc., etc., etc. So when I get focused up here, okay, because I gotta get focused. I'm a human being. I'm not always, I feel like I've been lagging. In 2021, I did not buy a single rental property. Not one. And in 2020, I bought 14. But in 2021, I did move 1,000 miles away. I did buy a big house. I did get my personal house in Virginia renovated. And I did sell my triplex right at the tail end of 2021, but I did not buy any new rental property. I did invest in oil and I did invest in mineral rights acreage, but I did not buy any rental property. So I am back on the bandwagon. I am looking at four houses right now that I am moving already on 2, and I'm starting the wheels going on the next 2. All right. So, and I got a game plan. I got it down on paper, and that's what I got to do. I got to put it down on paper. I got to write it down to see exactly what it is I need to do. And there's, exactly is like, there's a little give and take there. And then I can make it happen. Say like I told the missus yesterday, if we have a goal of making $25,000 a month and say we get there, but say on that very next month, we have 3 tenants stop paying and something else happens, and we only make $21,000 a month. Well, by golly, we're okay. I dare say. Okay. So I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if I can do it, so can you. I was a blue collar worker in my entire life. I worked landscaping. I mucked stalls. I enlisted in the Navy. I was a blue collar cop, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So look at yourself. I'll rehash this real quick. Look at yourself. Figure out, can you make more money? Figure out, can you pull that belt tighter? The goal is to become financially independent in 10 years. All right, 10 years. It's up to you. All right, if you got any questions on how I should need to better explain some topic I talked on, put it in the comments below and let me know, and I'll try to explain. All right, maybe some of my other folks that help me out on this channel that I interview, they might see it and they might respond, because All my interviews, there's 14 interviews, they're all, I think, basically blue-collar workers. And they're all on that property ladder. So if you don't want to listen to me, watch those interviews. All right, there's more interviews coming of more blue-collar workers who became financially independent from investing in real estate. Okay? All right, good enough. It's lunchtime. Mazske is hungry, and Mazske is signing out.